Hi everyone. In today's episode of The Next Step, we have Prateek Shukla with us. The objective of this series is to give a greater insight about how different people choose their career path and what is their decision making process. Just to get us started, if you could share a little bit about yourself, about your work and education background.
I did mechanical engineering, and the reason why I did mechanical engineering, actually, I never planned to do mechanical. Because in my family, we had like my brother, elder brother. He was the only software engineer I knew, and he's the only engineer that I always knew that okay, this is the only field that exists, software engineering. So you need to code and you need to make softwares and so on. I knew that there are vehicles and there are companies who are making it, but the engineering that goes behind making those vehicles, I was not aware about it. So I got a little hint on all those things. My father, he was also like a little pushy towards taking either IT or software engineering as a career path. But like ultimately, like when I saw all those and I talked to a few people, this mechatronics branch actually clicked me a lot. I wanted to do that. And suddenly, like someone, like he was a senior and he was there. I had a discussion with him, and he told me that you can do mechatronics stuff as well, but it's better if you take a core this thing department. So I said that okay, that's if that's okay, if you are suggesting, probably that's the right way to go about it. So I took that, and that's how the mechanical journey started.
What's really interesting is that you not only decided to do a core department in engineering, but you have stuck with the core sort of career path for almost 8 to 9 years now. So I'm going to take you back to when you were actually trying to get your first job and get placed when you were in Manipal.
Mhm.
How did you think about getting your first offer? Were you debating between core and non-core? What were your considerations when you were trying to, get that job in placement season in Manipal?
When I joined college, as I said, like I had no idea that other than software industry, that there's other industry that exists, and there are so many things in the world. So when I came to know about mechanical again, like because my mindset was very narrow, I did not know much. I was not having that much information about the world and about the things that are happening around. I was from Allahabad, and that was the first time I came out of a small city and see so many people talking about this and that. So like that first year was very not scary, but I was like always confused that okay, what is happening around me, what is it. So second year, luckily, like I got to know about this team who were making a Formula student car. So this Formula Manipal thing actually excited me enough towards mechanical engineering, pushed me towards engineering and going up to the details and like, okay, how much depth is there? Like because whenever you are designing a system, a vehicle is a system. There are various things which are functioning together, and you have to make sure that everything runs well, so that the ultimate goal is achieved. That like people are happy who are using it and all those things. So this depth excited me a lot, and based on that, I decided no, this is something that I actually want to do. So that was the moment. So after that, now coming to the placement season. When I came to the placement season, actually I was because I had a lot of confidence that I know a lot about vehicles, a lot about the engineering part, everything. But still, I was a little scared that whether I'll get a good job or not. That's with everyone, like any student, it will have. Luckily, Maruti came first, and finally somebody asked the core questions about automobiles, about engineering. And I was so happy to see that, okay, somebody is asking even this. And I was like the 10th ranker in that written exam. And then in the morning, there were interviews and I got selected. And that was the like happiest moment of my that duration.
If you were to look back and sort of give advice, pointers, two, three things that you think students sitting for placements now, what should they think about? What should they look out for? How should they prepare for their first
Mm-hmm.
job?
Like it's difficult to answer this question, but still I'll try. Like if I have to give advice to any person who wants a job, first thing he should ask himself is like, why does he need that job? Is it only money, or is it something that it excites him? So for like majority of the people, like for me, money was also an important factor because I was on loan and there were many things. at the back of my mind. So I wanted to follow my dream as well, and I wanted to solve this problem of like money as well. So first question that you should ask is, okay, what is it that you need? It is never a good practice to sit for all the companies and just keep on trying your luck that, okay, this company, now this company. You need to have some strategy, some planning, and then that should translate in your actions as well. So what I would suggest is, first you need to know what it is that you need. So let's say if somebody is like me and they have already worked on something, and that is something that excites them, then they should definitely go after that, because the chances of getting into that type of company is the highest. The probability will be the highest. Now, if you're not sure, if you're not aware, or let's say you have not been participated in any kind of co-curricular activities, and you have been like only attending the classes and very regular this thing, that is also not wrong actually, because many people don't know. Like, I got that because I was lucky maybe. So some people, let's say, they have a different path, some people have a different path. So now when the placement season is coming, now is the point that you need to think that, okay, what kind of industries exist? Okay, and based on that, what actually is going to be the path? Like, if let's say you plan that, okay, 3 years I'll do this, then I'll do an MBA, then I'll go to consulting. So if that is the plan, then you need to know what a consultant, what is it required to become a consultant? What are those skills? Okay, and then translate it back, then plan that today, that okay, this is the company which is best, where I will learn how to strategize things, how to make strategies, or which will help me in consulting. So that is something, that planning is required at this point of time. If you have not done anything in the past, any co-curricular activity, and you have no idea like what is the area where I should go to, so I think that is something, like if you create a plan, and of course, like if you have like access to the alumni and people like in your this thing, folks around you who are actually are into this particular industry or that field, they can actually talk to them. So I think these are the three, four key points that I would like to tell to the people who are actually going to sit for the placements.
Coming back to your story, so now you have spent about 8 to 9 years in a core mechanical focused career path, is something that you have charted out for yourself. So how has your roles and responsibilities changed over these 8 years as you got more experience and more responsibility? What was it like when you first started out? What is it like now? So that journey, how have things transitioned for you?
Okay, so for me, like when I joined Maruti, like so when I was in Formula Manipal, I was heading the structure team. So there was one department which I was heading. When I went to Maruti Suzuki, I was a GET. So GET period is basically 1 year period in Maruti Suzuki. So that is basically familiarization with various departments. And I use that as an opportunity to understand how an organization really works, because that was the only time when you will actually see different departments and different and understand like how the company is running. Because being a company like Maruti Suzuki, it's a very big company, more than probably 200 departments, more than 20,000 employees. It's very difficult to understand the bigger picture, how actually they are making a vehicle, how actually they are selling the vehicles, how they are doing the engineering, everything. It was very difficult. So I was not happy with what I was doing, but I used that. So initially it was a drop, GET. Then after that, they make you assistant managers. So assistant managers, basically you will be given some small project in one like vehicle. You will be handling some development activity or some design activity. So first 2 years I was actually into that. So I was actually like, there were like, everyone in the company was my boss, almost everyone, because I was GET, I was the fresher. So anyone whom I saw, I used to learn from them. That was actually a good experience. I got to know a lot about how things run on a larger scale. Because when I was in college, I was making one vehicle. There, we were making every 9 seconds one vehicle for so many people in India with different requirements. Okay, so that is something that I learned there, However, my roles and responsibilities were very low. And I was lucky that I did not have any roles and responsibilities. I was actually learning how things are working here. Then it gradually increased, but again, very slowly. I like transitioned, and I was not heading any team. I was just doing my work, but the amount of work that I got was a little more than previous. But then again came a trigger point. I thought that, okay, this is not something for me because it is very slow. Lifestyle is very slow for me, because I wanted to do something more, something extra, something like more substantial and impactful, which can be seen. So in a bigger companies, you are a very small fish, and whatever you do, you cannot see it in like immediately. So it takes time. That was okay. So it could have taken me around 3-4 more years to see that impact, to see that everything, but I was impatient. So then I decided that, okay, this is not the thing. And MBA, I didn't want to do at that point of time, because I understood that after I do MBA, it's not like I will not be doing the core job. I could get like the consulting jobs and other things where core knowledge is required, but not much. So immediately I thought that, okay, let's go for MS. Now I applied for MS. I applied in like various colleges. I got selected as well. But again, like the amount of money that was required was very huge. I did not have that. So I thought that I'll get a deferment. I'll take a deferment for a year. So I applied for that as well. But one day I was back in my hometown, Allahabad. This friend calls me that, okay, Pratik, I have a very interesting project with this company in South India, and they want to design something from scratch, a commercial vehicle. That thing like made me like, okay, this is the moment, and this is the thing that I really wanted to do. So I immediately said that yes, I'm joining, even though the pay that I used to get at that point of time, like it was way lesser than Maruti. Okay, so for 4-5 months, like it was like, okay, that's not so even I sacrificed on the money part, because I knew that, okay, this is something that is going to be big, and it will help me grow technically, professionally, in all the ways. So then I joined there, and when I joined there, so in this Formula Manipal, I was the team lead. Then I joined Maruti Suzuki. I was a GET, no responsibilities, and suddenly I was the project manager, where I was handling 3-4 people, a team, and I was designing a vehicle from scratch again. So experience of Formula Manipal, where I have designed the entire vehicle. I know the process, I know the things, I know subsystems, everything, that knowledge. Then how to do things at scale, how to manage your work properly in a Japanese company, which is Maruti Suzuki. So that Japanese culture and that experience from Formula Manipal actually helped me in making me a better lead when I joined ASI. So that helped me a lot. And then this roles and responsibilities actually grew a lot. And since then, I'm like heading the team, and now I'm head of product engineering, the entire business function. So that's the journey for roles and responsibilities.
This actually is it's a very interesting shift that you've had from a large corporate to a startup. If you could just like, what are the 3 things that are different, 3 parameters on which there is a difference, like that you would like to describe between working at a large corporate and working in a startup?
So like in different comfortable, in few of the startups, you have to slog like 20 hours a day. So it's different, but I'll just tell you from my experience. So from my experience, what I feel is, in a larger company, you get into a very comfort zone kind of thing. So basically you don't what I felt personally was, my learning curve was actually growing, but it was very slow. So pace is one of the reasons. And in startup, like you have to, there are on a daily basis, there are like multiple of issues, and those are like in various regions, like some technical, some HR related, some IT related, some security related. There are so many issues that you are solving at a point of time. So that is something that is not there. So first thing is that it is a comfortable lifestyle. It is good. It's not bad. It's because some people actually want to do that. That's not an issue. It's just that it takes time to see the impact of your work. That's why I left. Otherwise, Maruti is one of the best companies to be in, actually, if you want to learn things on a larger scale. So there are two kinds of people in any company. One are the specialists. One are those who are like generalists. So the work it is in general form, and in some cases it is special form. So in a larger company, you are mostly going towards that specialization field. But when you are in a startup, you have to take care of other things as well. Like you are on your own because you don't have much resources, you don't have much processes. So I think you become a generalist along with a specialist in particular area. So your range basically increases. So the learning curve, again, it is going to go up because the range is more. So that is my second point. Third, in terms of pay, it is difficult to say. It is stable. Like you will, because there is you can predict that, okay, this month your salary is gonna come in an OEM, in a larger organization. But in a smaller organization, as a startup, it depends. Like if you have enough funding or if you are generating enough revenue, what is the state of your startup? It is dependent on that. So it can be no salary this month. It can be okay, huge variable the other month. So I think these are the three main points.
So this actually brings me to one of the last questions that I have, which is, what is your advice to people who are looking at a similar career path as yours, in a core role, building through and sticking it out for almost a decade in the same industry with differences? So what would your advice be to students and professionals who are looking at your career path?
First advice is to explore more, because as I said initially also, many people don't know what they like. So explore enough, keep looking out at things in different areas, different industries or wherever, so that you get to know that, okay, this is something that I like. That is my first advice. Second, it is not a direct this thing, you cannot directly say that either a startup is good or an OEM is good. Like if somebody is getting an option between let's say heading a tech company, okay, a tech startup, and you are heading one department, rather than let's say in an Apple you are a program manager or technical manager. So it is very difficult to say which one to choose. Okay, so it depends on what actually you like and what you want to become ultimately. So I would say that you should ask yourself, you should do enough research before you actually go into any company. I do hire many people on a monthly or sometimes daily basis, but the point what I see that people fail is they don't do enough research about the company and why they should actually join that particular company. Because many people are just looking out for that, okay, I will have some money at the end of the month. But okay, that is important, but along with that, a little research about what company you're going into, what is the culture, read it about on Glassdoor, Google it, look through their pages and do a little research. So here what comes is attention to the details. So I would again like to tell the students who are actually sitting for placements that whenever you are choosing the path of career in any area, the most important thing is attention to detail. Don't do anything superficially. Don't do anything at the surface level. Go in depth of that thing which is more critical. And also the last point would be prioritization. So let's say there are so many things to be done. Always prioritize what is required to be done so that your research is actually not going a waste. You need to prioritize, okay, these are the few things that I will do work on. Because you cannot say that, okay, I have a list of 80 companies and I am going to research about all of them today and then I will decide. No, that is not possible. Out of the 80, you need to categorize, you need to see these are the areas that I want to go into. You need to ask yourself questions. Okay, is this something that I want to do? So based on those, you can have your answers and you can actually look out to. But ultimately, every person has a different story. I would say that every person has a different story. It is very difficult to tell or give advice to. I think my experience are my experiences. I can just tell. So don't use them as it is. Okay, just think through that. Okay, this person was like this. That is why this happened. So it is not like you can just follow the same path, because your story will be entirely different. So
Right.
that's what I think I would like to say. Yeah.
All right, awesome. So this was really helpful, and I'm sure a lot of people, students and professionals alike, are going to benefit from everything that you shared. So thank you for being with us today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks a
All
lot.
right.